Synod vanished. The station resumed its ordinary, battered rhythm, only now, safer. I sat alone for a moment, stomach empty, heart full, wondering how close the universe had come to passing me by. Then the station announcement chimed. Maintenance Tech Caleb Ma, please report to command. Compensation adjustment pending. I grinned. HFY isn't always about battles or bravery measured in blood. Sometimes, it's about a human giving away half a meal and reminding the universe that power still recognizes kindness when it sees it. The ration bar was the last thing I owned that day. Station Kestrel 9 wasn't cruel by design, it just didn't care. The outer ring hub served miners, refugees, contract crews, and anyone else who drifted too far from polite civilization. You learned quickly to count your credits, guard your food, and never assume tomorrow would be kinder. So when I unwrapped my meal and noticed the girl watching me from the far end of the bench, my first instinct was to look away. She sat with her knees drawn up, arms wrapped around herself, thin shoulders lost inside an oversized cloak. Her skin shimmered faintly, pearlescent, like moonlight caught in oil, and her eyes were too old for her face. Not old in years. Old in weight. She didn't beg. Didn't gesture. Just watched. My stomach growled, loud enough to betray me. I sighed, broke the ration bar cleanly in half, and walked over. Hey, I said softly. You hungry? Her gaze flicked to the food, then back to my face. She nodded once. I handed her the bigger piece. My name is Caleb Ma, Human Maintenance Tech, 3rd rotation on Kestrel 9. My job was to keep the station's ancient life support subsystems limping along with parts that hadn't been manufactured in decades. It paid enough to survive. Not enough to be generous. And yet, she took the food with both hands, as if it were fragile. When she bit into it, her eyes widened not with delight, but surprise. As though she hadn't expected it to work. Thank you, she said quietly. Her accent was strange, precise, musical, filtered through a translator that struggled with tone. No problem, I replied. What's your name? She hesitated. I am called Elira. You got a family on station, Elira? Another pause. Longer this time. No, she said. I nodded. Yeah. Me neither. We sat together on the bench, sharing the silence. Around us, Kestrel 9 hummed, cargo loaders whining, traders arguing, distant announcements echoing through steel corridors. Life went on. I didn't ask why she was alone. She didn't ask why I gave away my meal. Sometimes, that's enough. Trouble found us anyway. They came in a pack of 3 dock runners with scavenged armor and bad attitudes. Everyone on Kestrel 9 knew them. They took what they wanted from those who couldn't stop them. One of them eyed Elira, his grin sharp. Well, what do we have here? He said. Shiny, isn't she? I stood before I thought it through. She's with me, I said. He laughed. You sure about that, human? Elira's hand tightened on the ration bar. I'm sure, I replied. The runner stepped closer. Too close. I could smell recycled alcohol on his breath. You don't look sure, he said. You look hungry. I felt fear then, real fear. I wasn't armed. I wasn't important. I was just a tech with empty pockets and a bad sense of timing. Elira touched my sleeve. Caleb, she said gently. Please do not fight. I'm not, I said. I'm standing. The runner raised his hand, and the station lights flickered. It started as a tremor, a subtle vibration through the deck plates. The air pressure shifted. Every display panel in the concourse froze, then reset to a deep indigo glow. The runner hesitated, glancing around. "What did you do?" he demanded. I looked down at Illyra. She wasn't afraid anymore. Her eyes shone, not reflecting light, but producing it. The faint shimmer of her skin brightened, threads of luminous geometry unfolding across her arms like constellations remembering themselves. "I asked you to stop," she said calmly. The lights dimmed further. Every ship docked to Kestrel 9 powered down simultaneously. Silence fell, heavy, absolute. The runner's bravado collapsed. He backed away, hands raised. We're leaving." They ran. Illyra exhaled slowly. The lights returned. The station breathed again. I stared at her. "You okay?" I asked, because my brain refused to supply anything smarter. She looked suddenly young again, uncertain, fragile. "I did not wish to reveal myself," she said. "Reveal what?" She met my eyes. "I am Illyra of the Astral Synod," she said. "Bearer of the Stellar Accord. Keeper of the Gates." I blinked. "That's a lot of titles." "Yes," she agreed. "I did not choose them." We moved to a quieter corridor, the aftermath of the blackout buzzing with confusion behind us. "You shut down the whole station," I said. "Momentarily," she replied. "I interfaced with its power lattice." "With what?" She gestured vaguely. "All lattices respond to the same principles." I rubbed my face. "So, you're, what, royalty?" Her expression tightened. "I am, authority." I stopped walking. "The kind people fight wars over." "Yes." I thought of the ration bar, of my empty stomach, of the casual choice that had just rerouted my entire understanding of reality. "Oh," I said. We sat on a crate in a maintenance bay I knew wouldn't be disturbed. "Why are you here?" I asked. She folded her hands in her cloak. "The Synod governs passage between star realms. We are distant. To many species, we are myth." "Great," I muttered. "I fed a myth." She smiled faintly. "You fed a person. Why were you alone?" She looked away. "Because power is loud. I wished to hear something quieter." I snorted. "You came to Kestrel 9 for quiet." "I came," she said, "to see how people treat one another when no one is watching." I stiffened. Was this some kind of test? "No," she said quickly. "I did not know who I would meet. I only knew what I was looking for. And that was..." She met my gaze. Kindness without expectation. My throat tightened. "I didn't know who you were," I said. "I know," she replied. "That is why it mattered." The Synod arrived within the hour. They didn't come in ships, not exactly. Space folded like fabric, revealing vessels shaped from light and mathematics, too vast to dock. Envoys emerged, beings of many forms, all radiating a presence that made the air feel thicker. Station command scrambled. Diplomatic channels screamed. I stood beside Illyra, suddenly very aware of my grease-stained jacket. An envoy bowed to the girl I'd shared a meal with. "Bearer," they said. "You are unharmed." "I am," Illyra replied. "Thanks to him." Every eye turned to me. I raised a hand weakly. Hi. The envoy studied me. You intervened without knowledge of consequence. Yeah, I said. That's kind of our thing. Murmurs rippled. The synod observes, the envoy said, but rarely intervenes. Yet today, intervention occurred. Because someone tried to hurt someone smaller, I said. That's not okay. Illyra's gaze softened. The envoy inclined their head. Then hear this, human Caleb Mar. The air vibrated. By act of uncalculated compassion, you have demonstrated a trait our records note but do not quantify. Your species names it decency. I swallowed. In recognition, the envoy continued, the synod will extend protections to Kestrel 9. Trade corridors stabilized. Predation monitored. Aid provided. Gasps echoed. Illyra stepped closer to me. I did not plan this, she said quietly. But I will not undo it. I nodded. Seems fair. When it was time for her to leave, we returned to the bench where we'd first met. I am sorry, she said. You gave up your meal. I smiled. Worth it. She hesitated, then pressed something into my hand, a small, warm disc etched with shifting patterns. If ever you are lost between stars, she said, this will call to us. Like a phone number? I asked. She laughed, a clear, bright sound. Yes. Like that. The light folded. There.